What's up, Buck Teeth Buckos? Oldmantup coming at you today with the one and only Tori, and we are diving into our Week 6 halfway point in the season team builder versus the one and only Shady Penguin. Now, Tori, who is your favorite YouTuber?
Shady Penguin.
Who's your favorite streamer?
Shady Penguin.
So, we are playing Tori's favorite person today. And we're bringing a pretty good team, I think, that matches up well against his. So let's get into it. Now, we are billing this as a match against the two best Firewater grass cores in the league. So we're definitely bringing ours to prove its worth. But first, we're going to lead off with Rye Toast, the Excadrill, throwing the Choice Scarf Mold Breaker on this week because we want to be able to hit everything on his team. He doesn't have a flying type. He does not have a flying type. So, with Mold Breaker, we hit everything on his team really hard with Earthquake. Everything. So, I have a feeling we get Excadrill in after his walls take a little bit of damage, and he'll just clean up. So that's why we got Mold Breaker. The only thing on his team that has Levitate that I can think of off the top of my head is the Rotom Heat, which is really a problem for my team. So, yeah. We got Earthquake, Iron Head, Stealth Rocks, Rapid Spin. Depending on what he brings and possible lead, we are going to maybe set up Stealth Rocks turn 1 and switch out to make him think that maybe we don't have the Scarf. Rocks are very good against his team. The only thing on his team, if I'm not mistaken, that can get rid of the rocks is Hitmontop, and I'm not sure he's going to bring that this week. So we'll have to wait and see. It would be nice to see Hitmontop come back and play against his former team, but I don't know. So what do you think about our Right Toast setup this week? Good? So I'm hoping it puts in some work, at least gets a kill. But don't mind the sounds they're baking in the kitchen. So yeah. We got some HP investment, max attack, the adamant side. We have just enough speed with a scarf to outspeed max speed Alakazam, which is something that worries me this week because its coverage and its speed just decimates my team. So Focus Sash, Magic Guard Alakazam could be huge against me this week. So let's hope that doesn't happen. We brought some priority to prevent that from happening, so yeah. Now we got Handsome, the Ambipom, and Ambipom is coming back to play against his former team, which is the New York Mankeys and Shady Penguin. And I think he called him New Guy, but we got Handsome coming back for his second week. And what we got Handsome Ambipom, Normal Gem. I was going to run Flying Gem, but it turns out Flying Gem is an illegal item, which I was not aware of until I tried using it. So, yeah, that was no bueno, but that's going to boost our knockoff. Or, I'm sorry, our fake outs, which are going to hit everything on his team except for Misdreavus. And if he brings Misdreavus, I will be very relieved because that means he probably won't have Alakazam. So, it's going to be a trade-off there, but we got knockoff. I think knockoff is it's right around a one-hit KO on a Misdreavus with an item. So, yeah. That's the thing. We got Acrobatics, because once we get rid of our normal gem, Acrobatics does in the range of right around 50% to bulky Mega Venusaur, and that's bueno, because I think Mega Venusaur is something else that's going to be hard for my team to take out in general overall. Now, you'll notice we're not bringing Mega T-Tar, and that is also going to hinder us a little bit in the fact that we aren't going to be able to have Synthesis hindered by the Sandstorm, but I think the rest of the team makes up for that. Knockoff and U-Turn. You're going to notice a theme in this. We have U-Turn on 2 or 3 Mons, and we have 2 Mons, and we have Volt Switch this week. We want to keep our team switching around and keep the initiative, because we're going to need that in order to beat his walls. So, what do you think about Ambipom?
Can we see it shiny? And Mom just gave me cookies.
So they are doing crazy things in the background. So that's shiny Ambipom. I don't like it because it's very pink.
I like it.
I like the purple better.
Okay.
So maybe if we ever do a girl Ambipom, it'll be pink.
Okay,
So that's... Yeah, go ahead. But Ev spread, we got just enough speed to outspeed everything that we can naturally outspeed that isn't scarfed, which is Mischievous, Jirachi, and a few other things. So anything unboosted we're going to outspeed. I think the only thing we don't outspeed is Alakazam. So a little bit of a problem there. That's why you see some very odd EV distribution in through here. But that is that. So we're going to bring in Uzi, the Thunderous. We're bringing choice specs this week because he only has one ground type, I believe, that we're planning for, and that is Zygarde. And that thing is a monster to this team. Sub DD Zygarde could literally win the match if he brings it by itself. So I'm really worried about that. Not bringing T-Wave because nothing that's really fast on his team. I'm going to be too terribly worried about slowing down because of if Zygarde sets up a sweep. I'm not going to be able to do anything about it with T-Wave. So we aren't doing anything Prankster this week. We don't have any physical moves, so there's no real reason to use Defiant, especially if he has something like a Foul Play. So that is that. And we've got the HP Ice, mostly for coverage, Volt Switch, Psychic, and T-Bolt. I have thought about running maybe like a Grass Knot or something, but the T-Bolt for overall end game cleanup is just going to be bueno. So that is the reason we have this set up. Again, just enough speed to outspeed the things that we need to. We are naturally faster than everything on his team but Mega Alakazam. So with this speed investment, again, I believe it's the exact same. Yep, 73. We outspeed everything on his team outside of Alakazam that isn't scarfed or boosted. So that's a good thing with this. Got the choice specs this week. Really wanting to do some damage with the Volt Switches. So this is another possible lead. And yeah, good stuff with that. So what do you think about Uzi?
Pretty good.
Okay, let's go on to 50 crisps. Now we actually changed our leftovers to the Cobra Berry because one thing we noticed with the help of some rough draft run-throughs.
I call him Pringles.
Yes, he does look like the Pringles man. One of the things we noticed with some of the, when we mash it up against Shady's team, is that speed boosting, Adamant, Life Orb, Sharpedo is a huge problem for this team. So this allows us to survive a crunch, even Adamant Life Orb, and it only do, I think max is like 40-some%. So we can even come in with prior damage, take a hit, and burn it. So that is the point for this. We got Taunt mainly because of in the event we get a one-on-one war with Melodic, we will be able to stop it from recovering, which is bueno, because that thing's bulkier than all get out. Standard setup, I think fairly similar to last week. Just enough speed to outspeed some of the things that might try and speed creep on us, and otherwise max defense, max HP, bold nature, and all that jazz. What do you think about 50 crisps?
You should name the Pringle guy.
Yeah, I don't like the Pringle guy though. I like 50 crisps. So let's move on to Crimson Sea Dog, who we had last week, and it's a very similar set with a few different moves.
Stop Toxic.
Yep, we got Toxic this week, mainly to catch the Melodic switch in, because Toxic is going to do a lot to help us take that thing down. Extreme Speed, namely for the priority for the things we had named before, and because it would have helped us out so much last week, I couldn't ignore the fact that I needed the priority on the team this week. Flare Blitz for overall damage. It's not going to, but Flare Blitz for overall coverage, we could have gone Wild Charge, but it does even less damage to everything except for the Rotom Heat, which this is meant to come in on and scare out. Because we got full special defense investment, we take hits from Rotom Heat, we take overheats all day long. We got Intimidate, we don't have the Flash Fire because we take hits from it so well. Even Thunderbolts. Anything outside of the max special attack spec set, we just wall for days. So that's the main thought behind this. And also, this Arcanine takes Scalds from bulky melodic at less than 50%. Less than 50%. So we got Morning Sun, we shrug them off, and we have the ability to get some toxic damage racked up on it, when that's just bueno. So we're looking at that. Morning Sun for recovery, Intimidate, namely to help lower the threat of Sharpedo. We got the extreme speed, so hopefully wearing that down slowly will stop it from getting a super sweep on my team. So that's good. So what do you think about Crimson Sea Dog?
What are you gonna do? I'm just asking this question. What are you gonna do in Water Rotom if he brings Water Rotom?
He doesn't have access to Water Rotom. He only has Fire Rotom, the little oven. So we don't have to worry about that.
It's over that Mom makes cookies.
Well, kind of. It does look like that. So that was Crimson Sea Dog, and now we have Fiona. And this set is fairly similar to the set we brought against Crimson Seabad and the Detroit Steel Wings, as it's modest max attack, max HP, with a little bit of defense. It's actually the same one that we brought against Crimson Sea Dog. There was a little mishap in genning. Originally, we wanted some speed investment to edge out bulky Jirachi in the event it came to that. But this set was similar enough. All I had to do was change a move. It was just a slightly different ebb distribution. So that's good. So that's everything we have on the team. I think the one we have to bring is Shrek. So yeah, that's bueno. So what do you think about Fiona?
I like her. I like her in the female, in the shiny version.
Same with this thing, again, gonna try and get U-turn to get the priority and keep it as we run. So that's bueno. Nothing to worry about there. Psychic and Giga Drain does a number between the two on the majority of his wall core. The only thing it doesn't hit very well is super specially defensive Rotom Heat, which we are really expecting him to bring this week to stop some of our special attackers. But things we're really worried about this week: possibility for late game Sharpedo, possibility for sub and or just DD Zygarde, because that thing is just a monster. Banded and or Scarf Jirachi, always a threat with that Iron Head. So those are things we have to look out for, and hopefully we've planned accordingly, and we will be able to beat Shady Penguin and the New York Mankeys. Anything you'd like to say about the team before we go?
No.
Alright guys, this has been Oldmantup and Tori for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.